This public policy presentation on agraynation.com is brought to you by Cost Recovery Works, where vigilance builds value. What you're about to hear is a very poor audio recording of the last 3 minutes of the Austin Road Show of Friday, May 18, 2018. Your arrow-flinging protector was on the show to talk about the burgeoning Columbia County finance scandal. We shook up things a little bit, I think. When the Georgia Bank and Trust shareholders, Rick Allen and James Blanchard, were mentioned during this recording in the present tense, it was in relationship to a meeting that was held with law enforcement years ago and not in the present time, for neither is a Georgia Bank and Trust board member. In fact, the entire Georgia Bank and Trust Board of Directors was dismissed or dissolved when Georgia Bank and Trust was acquired by South State Bank in 2017. Also, it's very important to mention that neither Blanchard nor Allen were voting members of the board that had management duties over the bank. As to former Columbia County Commissioner Scott Dean, who at the time was the acting Finance Committee chairman, he actually didn't object at the time of the meeting to the award, but just listen to what he had to say in making the motion to allow Ron Cross and Charlie Allen to vote. Dean's conviction was on charges unrelated to this banking vote. Judge Blanchard, being the judge who put him in prison and will not grant a retrial despite recanted testimony, is more of a demonstration of how weird things get in Columbia County. The Arrowflinger tried to get in touch with Judge Blanchard, a former family business partner, to discuss His Honor's opinion of this transaction back in 2014, but somehow we just had trouble connecting. Imagine that. More on this later, maybe. With respect to Edward J. Tarver, he was a member of the GB&T Audit Committee in 2008 and 2009 before becoming the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Georgia on December 17, 2009. Tarver had audit responsibility for the 2008 financial statements of the bank, which later became the basis of Columbia County's awarding their contract to GB&T. About a month before his nomination, the United States Securities and Exchange Commission sent Georgia Bank and Trust Chief Financial Officer Raines a letter questioning the 2008 statements and even suggesting that they might have to be restated or amended. Imagine that. A sitting U.S. attorney's immediately preceding Bank Audit Committee responsibilities were questioned by the SEC? None of this seems to have dawned on Columbia County's Finance Department or the Finance Committee. Or did they know? Or which one of them knew? As for Rick Allen, perhaps he can confer with his cousins who own 40% of Georgia Bank and Trust, and his brother, a Georgia Bank and Trust shareholder who delivered the timely $100 million cash infusion. And maybe Rick can draft a banking bill he wrote about last year. We've got the perfect name, the Rick Allen B.Y.O.B. bill. Bail out your own bank bill. This is Arrowflinger Al, coming to you on a rainy afternoon in Lincoln County, Georgia, with a public policy presentation for Cost Recovery Works, where vigilance builds value.
Okay, Al Gray, standing by on line one. What's happening, Al?
Oh, well, a couple of calls back, I guess I concluded about this finance scandal in Columbia County that's involved just about everybody in the finance committee ongoing, and also the finance department. And I guess when I was off the air, you suggested that I might have called the FBI. Well, I did. And I went in there, and they looked down there at that board of directors, and they were in a state of shock. They said, my heavens, these are the most powerful people in Augusta on this bank board. Sure enough, because, you know, I guess the father family runs 40% of that bank, so they were prominently displayed. But you also had Rick Allen. Rick Allen's on that board. Judge Blanchard's on that board. And Judge Blanchard, if you recall, Scott Dean absolutely objected to this crazy banking deal, and he's in prison for Judge Blanchard, and he can't get another trial. So it's almost scary how ugly all of this mess is. And it is going to be a very big deal because one thing they were looking at on the audit committee when all this stuff went down was Ed Tarver, and he was at the time 2010 forward until recently the attorney for the Southern District of Georgia, the federal attorney. So I mean, it's just what we're seeing in Washington, D.C. There's a conflict between the FBI and the Justice Department, except this time it's local. And this thing is so enormous, it might actually provide a chance for the people of this country to take back this country one city at a time, beginning right here.
Okay, by the way, all of this bank stuff that you're talking about, how long ago did it take place in Columbia County?
Well, it took place. It was a 5-year contract beginning in the second half of 2010, and it's just, I mean, just like I said the other day, it's a 4-year statute of limitations. I tried to get through to Clay Whittle. He didn't want to have me within that statute of limitations, and also I've got repeated conversations in correspondence with Scott Johnson. So it looks like to me it's all going to come out. And I hope if you're voting, you won't vote for any of these incumbents or any of these establishment people.
All right, Al, hang in there. Have a good weekend. We'll see you guys Monday.
It is publicly acknowledged that Commissioner Allen and myself have stock in the holding company or the parent company of Georgia Bank and Trust. Meager interest in it. And I believe at this point it is up to Commissioner Dean, Commissioner Trey Allen, to make, I guess, a motion among themselves whether we being Commissioner Allen and myself, be allowed to vote on this item. All right, this time the floor is open for that motion one way or the other.
I will make a motion to allow the two of you to vote.
All right. Keyword being meager. I second it.
Yes, I spoke with 3 former commissioners and said the hardest vote for the county was banking services, so we're going to get hit by a bus. Y'all can join us.
That's mighty nice of you.
You're welcome.